What is going on, guys? Welcome back. You can maybe hear a little bit of excitement in my voice because it finally happened. Wait till the end of this video. It finally happened. Not only what I predicted about Madden in terms of the trailer, but I got the animation. However, before we get to that, let's do everyone's favorite play in Madden. Nope, not the run with your punter and a quarterback, running slants. And let's see if I can complete a complete drive down the field in Tampa Bay, where technically I would really like to see this stadium be a little bit more dynamic in terms of how you deal with it as an away team. But can I run all slants? This has been an issue that has plagued Madden because, quite frankly, defenders don't know how to adjust. They don't know how to adapt. There's no AI in this game from one play to the next. There's no memory in this game from one play to the next. And it doesn't matter who you actually use. I mean, in this case, I just continue to throw to Zach Pascal. But even when I get sacked, and I want you to understand this, even when you get sacked, even when it's fourth down, there's no fear in this game mode. You can throw it to your tight end. You can throw it to your X receiver, your Y receiver. You can have penalties happen. You should not be able to play a game in 2020 where the logic is so stagnant that you can continue to use the same play over and over and over again from a AAA developer. EA has pieces in place to correct this. They have the personnel, they have the resources, they have the programmers. You know, the only thing that really signifies this game from last year to this year, in the gameplay, understand, in the logic of this game, is that after these plays, I'm able to select a user celebration. The fact that you could go and continue to do this each and every year, each and every game, each and every drive, shows that this game doesn't offer someone much going from one year to the next. The challenge of a new season, the challenge of a new game just isn't there. You know, maybe in some cases you could throw out of a sack here in this year's game where perhaps you couldn't have before. But again, the reality becomes, here we are, 3rd and 19, basically midway point of the field, and I'm able to just exploit this game's poor AI by having linemen back, covering receivers. I'm able to confidently go for it on fourth down. And then here it is, the moment you've all been waiting for. No, not me selecting a touchdown celebration, because I don't do that. But I want you to take a look at exactly what happens here. I want you to watch and see if you can see it while they go back through this replay. We're going to go back and assess it. But do you notice what happens here? It's very subtle, as are most things with Madden. But I could not believe that I saw this. And this is a moment that I had talked about before. Now, I talked about this moment when they released the trailer. And I want you to watch this very slowly. Watch Pascal's footwork and ask, why is he pulling up here and standing up when he's right at the goal line? Okay? Why is his motion changing to go into a different animation? Well, I'll give you an example as to why I feel this is happening once you see him stretching the ball out. This was supposed to be something they did. Watch his arm right now. He is at the goal line, but there is a defender directly in front of him. And I want you to watch very carefully as this animation starts. He's extending the ball now at a time where in real life, he should never be extending the ball. This is how you would fumble the ball in real life. Because to be frank, you are not protecting the ball directly in front of a defender. This is something, when we looked at the trailer, we were very much afraid of. Animation dependency. When they sold us smart players, which, no disrespect to Paris Campbell or Zach Pascal, I don't know if any Colt receiver other than T.Y. Hilton should have this ability, because they said it came down to player intelligence and how long a player had been in the league, apparently. Because that's how a player gets smarter, is being a veteran NFL player, that they would be able to make these decisions. So having younger receivers do this, or at least extending the ball here, where it's not even needed to be extended because he's already in the end zone, doesn't make a lot of sense. But when we go back to this moment, the reveal trailer, the 47,000 dislikes and we take a look at Lamar Jackson, right, and we understand where he is at the 5-yard line, and then we understand that thanks to some clever editing by EA, we go from this scene where you can look at the player positions in terms of number 34, number 55, and realize they're not in this scene where Lamar Jackson is now extending the ball, just as we saw Paris Campbell do in my gameplay. I do also want to point out, Specs here did a content cop about this video as I was trying to locate it, but I mentioned in this video that EA needed to explain to us how and why this was happening. Why did they cut this? Why wasn't this one seamless interaction? Because the fear was this was all animation-based gameplay, and they had to cut these segments down so that they could show us this is what the player's going to do this year. This was the selling point of this game. That was the first trailer, and prior to that, the images we saw were Pat Mahomes reaching around the goal line. And many of us were excited about this, to have AI in the game, intelligent players that knew where they were. Yet when you actually see it happen in the game itself, when you have the product in your hand, we're reminded that AI does not exist in this game as it should, not in this capacity, not in the way that we were sold it to be. But instead, it's issued through animations in the game that the user has no control over, that some cases don't even make sense as the user. I shouldn't have to worry if my player knows where the goal line is when he's a replicated professional football player. This is his job, and he doesn't know the objective of his job. I shouldn't have those concerns. EA is phenomenal at selling us something, captivating our imagination as gamers with images of what the game is going to produce, and yet giving us an actual product that does not live up to that standard. I shouldn't be able to tell you what I believe is going to happen and go back and see the game where you've got a receiver at the 2-yard line start to extend the ball directly in front of a defensive back, where in real life this would easily be a fumble, and then fall into the end zone, but because he's got the animation playing where he extends the ball, even though he falls 5 feet into the end zone, he's still going to go through an animation where he extends the ball. I'm glad I see this animation, I'm glad I got it in the game, but it's not at all what it should be doing to represent football, and it's not at all how it was sold to us as a feature. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this, and obviously this is all before the slants that are an absolute mess. You know I appreciate you watching this video, and I will be back in the week with more commentary.